Cristin Brown shares the lie she won't ever believe again. Sister Wives star Cristin Brown has been living happily with her husband, David Woolley. The two tied the knot on October 7, 2023 in Moab, Utah. Many fans were glad that Cristin is now experiencing the life of a wife, which is something she struggled with later in her marriage with Cody. Cristin also uses her social media page to spread positivity. But she surprised her followers after opening up about the lie she won't ever believe again. Keep reading to see what it was. Sister Wives, how's Cristin Brown today? Cristin has been sharing strong messages over the past few days, especially when the first half of season 19 ended. Cristin was no longer with Cody and married David by the end of the season. She's been trying to tell people that letting go can be the best option to achieve happiness. Recently, the Sister Wives star taught her followers about some of the things she does to maintain a strong and positive mindset. She encourages people to say no, especially when it comes to boundaries. She added that giving time and effort to oneself, even drinking coffee in peace, can bring so much positive energy. Cristin shares the lie she won't ever believe again. In a social media post, Cristin Brown shared the one lie she had followed over the years. According to the Sister Wives star, she used to stay small and shrink herself to be loved by people around her. But she realized that it was wrong. She also reminded everyone that it's okay to take up some space. She added, "You're allowed to choose joy. You're allowed to change." What would happen if you started speaking that kind of truth over your own life? Many fans were moved by Cristin's post. Sister Wives, Cristin Brown shares planting season. Cristin Brown also took to social media to share a new clip of herself as she enters planting season. According to the Sister Wives star, she enjoys getting her hands dirty in the garden, adding that it makes her everything better. She added, clearing out the old, planting the new, and soaking up every second of this fresh spring energy. What are you planting this season? Cristin wasn't the only one making big plans for the season. Her former sister wife, Janelle, has also been managing a small garden with her daughter, Maddie, and it's expected to get even bigger with her ongoing dream house project. Cristin Brown stood on the deck of her new home in Utah, the Red Rock Mountains of Moab glowing behind her in the late afternoon light. It was peaceful, still, the kind of quiet that comes not from emptiness, but from a life finally stripped of pretense. She took a deep breath and let the crisp spring air fill her lungs. Inside, her daughter truly was blasting music and making cupcakes. David, ever steady, was working on a backyard project with power tools and that goofy grin that had become her safe place. Everything around her radiated truth, and that's exactly why she was thinking about the lie. The one lie she would never believe again. "I don't need more," Cody had said once, brushing her off with that all-too-familiar shrug. "You should be content with what we have. That's what plural marriage is, sacrifice." She remembered exactly where she was when he said it. The cold corner of the living room in the Lehigh house, perched like a guest in her own life. She'd made his favorite enchiladas, worn the yellow sweater he once said he liked. And she had dared, just dared, to ask for more time. More affection, more love. But his response wasn't anger or frustration. It was something colder. Indifference. And that's what stunned the most. He believed his lie. That she should settle for crumbs and be thankful for them. That her needs were selfish. That love was a limited resource in the family bank, and she was overdrafting. She had nodded and smiled. She had even apologized. Apologized for wanting to be chosen. And for years, she believed it. Believed that if she prayed harder, smiled bigger, cooked more, stayed quiet, sacrificed more, she could eventually earn what should have been freely given. That was the lie. The lie she would never believe again. Cristin had spent decades performing contentment, wearing it like a costume stitched together by church teachings, cultural expectations, and a man who wanted loyalty more than love. But it unraveled slowly. With every anniversary passed over, every cold glance across a group dinner table, every family photo where she posed next to him but felt invisible. The worst part wasn't the neglect, it was the gaslighting. The way he'd twist things, telling her that her expectations were too high, that her disappointment was a reflection of her own shortcomings. She used to whisper her pain into the pillow at night, too afraid to voice it even to herself. Because to admit the lie was to admit the life she built on it was cracking. But cracks, she learned, are how light gets in. The turning point wasn't loud. It was mundane, really. She was helping Janelle organize a storage unit, laughing about something silly when Janelle suddenly paused and said, "You know, You shouldn't have to beg someone to value you. And Cristin froze, because it wasn't a revelation. It was a confirmation. A truth she already knew in her bones, but had buried beneath duty and denial. That night, she stared at herself in the mirror, really stared. And she didn't see a sister wife. She didn't see a spiritual warrior. She didn't see a martyr. She saw a woman who deserved better. Leaving wasn't easy. The logistics were complicated. The emotions even messier. She wasn't just leaving a man, she was leaving an entire belief system. A community. A narrative that told her from a young age that her worth was tied to how well she could share a man. But she packed anyway, box by box, memory by memory. And with every tote she loaded into her car, she unloaded a little bit of that lie. She drove to Utah with her daughter in a heart wide open. Not empty open, ready for something real. Meeting David Woolley was like exhaling after holding her breath for 25 years. He didn't just tell her she was enough, he showed her, in the way he listened. The way he held her hand without looking over his shoulder. The way he chose her every single day without schedule or negotiation. She told him once, during a quiet dinner on their porch, I used to think asking for more made me ungrateful. He looked at her, his eyes full of kindness, and said, no. Asking for more means you know your worth. And in that moment, the last thread of the lie snapped. Now, Cristin stood on the deck, watching the sky turn to gold. She wasn't bitter. She didn't need to be. The truth had set her free, not just from Cody, but from the belief that love was something you had to earn by erasing yourself. She would never believe that lie again. She would never believe that silence was noble. That shrinking was holy. That being second, third, or fourth was a divine calling. She believed in love that filled rooms. In laughter that wasn't rationed. In joy that didn't require compromise. She believed in telling the truth, even the hard ones. Especially the hard ones. As the sun dipped behind the mountains, she picked up her phone and recorded a short video for her followers. Her hair caught the light. Her voice was calm, but resolute. I want to share something real with you all, she began. There was a lie I believed for too long, that I didn't deserve more. That I was asking too much. That I should just accept being someone's last choice. I don't believe that anymore, and I never will again. She smiled. Not just for the camera, but for herself. And somewhere, deep inside, the girl who once swallowed her voice finally exhaled. Would you like a version of this as a monologue, journal entry, or Instagram post from Cristin's perspective?